I don't know that there's a formula for that. That's hard. How do you get people to have a life that isn't prescribed or sold to them by somebody with this equipment to sell? And I don't know. I think a lot about biology teachers and our great need for good field biologists, or naturalists we used to call them, good all-around naturalists, who would be the Pied Pipers in these dreadful schools and get these kids out on foot in their home watershed or bioregion or the local creek valley, and look around and say the names of the creatures that they see and say, these are your neighbors. What's your relationship with these creatures? Or show them what's beautiful. I mean, what's the thing? There are things that are obviously beautiful, extremely beautiful, lavishly beautiful. They don't cost a thing. Butterflies. Suppose you've got kids who have never seen one, because they've never looked at one. Flowers. Those little pretty birds. I don't know what I would do if I were a school teacher. I have an Amish friend who had one teacher who took them out and showed them the butterflies and the caterpillars and the cocoons and so on, and got them so they could see. I learned to squirrel hunt from a black man who would find the squirrel and then wait for me to see it with a grin on his face. He taught me to see. But my answer is I don't know. That's a good question. But I think a lot of good depends on people being able to entertain those questions, to suffer them years on end. That'll keep you alive if you do that at a cost. Now, I think education is largely being oversold and pretty badly underperformed in universities. What they don't say, we now call them educators, teachers, but educator got one more syllable, so it's people call Jesus a teacher. Buddha was a teacher, but that's not good enough for us. We got to be educators. What we don't confess is that it's a chance, luck, fortune. Those things are involved. Not every teacher is right for every student. If you go through a long education and find a handful, I always think about Sodom and Gomorrah when I think about this. For what would I spare the educational system? Well, for 5 teachers, my impression is, by thinking of my own experience as a student and teacher, if you can get through 12 to 20 years of education and find 5 really good teachers who are going to be on your mind for the rest of your life, asking you questions, saying you can do better, you're really lucky. You've really lucked out. Most teachers are thrust into the role of disciplinarians, jailers, babysitters. And how do you make use of that? Well, some people are inventive and good, and some are just not. And I don't know. That's my fallback position. Ignorance.